YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast siblings. I'm Sid, in case you didn't know. And we are reviewing Lock and Key Season 1. Guys, we are on episode 4. Now, this episode was a bit slower. There weren't as many major things. I feel like 3 left us on such a really big, dun 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 note. And episode 4 kind of toned things down a little bit. So let's get into it. Let's see what happened. So at the end of episode 4, we see that Kinsey has killed the monster in her brain, her fear, and kind of took it out of her head and buried it in the woods. But Creepy Well Girl saw her. We also still don't have a name for Creepy Well Girl, so I hope Creepy Well Girl works for everyone else. Oh, sorry, I realized I mumble and I talk really fast in these videos, so I'm gonna talk a little slower and try to be clearer. Kinsey has killed her fear and is now fearless and kind of walking around school like she owns the place. Ellie and Nina have become friends now. They're sort of like mom friends, and they bond and chit-chat about things. And one morning when they're having tea, Nina says that she wants to meet some of Rendell's other friends from high school. And Ellie says that pretty much everyone is gone. She mentions Mark Cho, that he died a few months back, around the same time that Rendell did, and that Rendell's girlfriend in high school, she is in an insane asylum or a mental hospital. I guess that's what it's called, although insane asylum lends itself to the genre. Yeah, she hasn't spoken in 20 years. It seems like Ellie knows why. It's obviously something that has to do with all of these keys and whatever happened to them in high school, but she won't say. She kind of is like, she hasn't talked. We don't know why. While they're talking, Ellie mentions a ping pong room in the basement. Nina's like, what ping pong room? So the two women go downstairs, bust through a wall, and find this old room full of things. Now, we notice that Ellie seems to be looking for something in the room. That's a little creepy. I have a question about Ellie, but we'll get to that in a minute. She tells Nina that she's not really looking for anything in particular, but she obviously is. So Kinsey, now that she has taken the fear out of her mind, is pretty bold when it comes to talking to Scott, the guy that she likes and has been kind of flirting with throughout the first 4 episodes of the season. Anyway, she invites Scott home to her house. They go into her bedroom and she kind of makes it seem like, ooh, it's about to be a thing. But it turns out she shows him the key that goes into her neck, and then she brings him into her mind, which is like a lot to do to a person, especially when you don't really know them. He takes it pretty well, actually. He's really excited that there's magic. He's disturbed, and it takes him a long time to kind of understand exactly what the heck is going on. Kinsey takes a huge risk by telling Scott, 1, about magic, 2, showing her the memories in her brain. But he takes it well. All's well so far. But she doesn't tell her brothers about it, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair. Speaking of things that aren't right and aren't fair and are questionably immoral, Tyler has really been flirting with this girl at the high school named Jackie, I think. He's like, well, if Kinsey can take fear out of her mind, maybe I can put something in it. So he puts books in his mind to make him seem more impressive. And as it turns out, it works, and Jackie likes him, and they go get clam chowder. Pretty mundane sort of everyday episode, but it's a nice break from all of like the kind of intrigue and intensity. Now, that's not to say that there weren't some big important things that happened in this episode. One of them being that Creepy Well Girl goes to visit Rendell's old girlfriend in the insane asylum. She has a nickname for her. I don't remember what it is. She does tell her that Rendell's dead, that Mark is dead. She kind of insinuates that she's coming for her too, but we don't really know why. We don't know what's going on there. So the biggest thing that happens at the end of this episode is that Creepy Well Girl comes back to the house to terrorize poor little Bodhi. She takes him outside and kind of gets him in this, big fire circle, and is telling him to give her the key and all these different things. And he's like, what do you need the key for? And we find out that she needs the key to find something. We don't know what she's looking for. It seems like Creepy Well Girl's got a grudge against Rendell and his high school friends in the past. Maybe they didn't lock her up. Maybe they hid something from her. And then now with Bodhi, Tyler, and Kinsey, Creepy Well Girl is after the kids to find all of the keys to get whatever it is that she's looking for. Oh, we learned an important thing in this episode, or at least Bodhi does. He learns that Creepy Well Lady can't just take the keys from him. he has to give them to her, which makes sense, which is why she indulges and plays with him, why she pretended to be his echo and to be his friend and to help his mom get out of the mirror if he gave her the key. Last two things that I think, these are kind of more speculation than important things that happen in the episode. Ellie mentions to Nina that she's the last one left of their high school group, right? Everyone else has died. Rendell's, I guess, the most recent death, right? And the woman in the insane asylum. Why is that? I wonder if Ellie is in league with Creepy Well Girl for some strange reason. Now, I don't want to think that because she seems nice and she's heartbroken about losing her boyfriend Luke, but you gotta wonder why she's still alive and no one else is. Except for the lady who's in the insane asylum, and she's not okay upstairs. Although honestly, she seems like she might be okay. Like she just don't want to be talking to people. Do you think Ellie could be a bad guy? Those of you who've read the book, am I on track? Am I catching up? Am I clever? Or am I just ridiculous and completely off base? Let me know. Second thing, when Creepy Well Lady, she goes back to the jail because she's furious with Bodhi that he's figured out, you know, that she can't take the keys from him, but he has to give them to her. Also, she'd be looking mad creepy in that fire circle, like she looks insane. She goes back to the jail to talk to Sam, the person who murdered Rendell, and also with the Omega tattoo. She tells him that if we're going to be family, he needs to do this for her. She also gives Sam a key to get out of the jail. So that's really creepy. We know that Sam is probably gonna go after the Locks since he killed their father. What are you guys thinking? Episode 4, are you digging it? Are you like, yeah, I'm gonna push through? Or are you like, nah, it's too much? I do wanna say it's not scary. Like the first episode was scary. It definitely pulled you in, but it's not scary. You can definitely watch it, you know, and be fine. I think that's all I have, you guys, for episode 4 of Lock and Key. Like this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of all of the exciting content we have going on here at SIBZ. All right, guys, I will see you in episode 5. Bye.